that in around 40 years, there's going to be more plastic in the ocean than fish. There's also a hidden meaning in this piece if you can find it. Hello everybody, my name is Shauna. I am here from Alternative Dublin, and today we are going to take you on a street graffiti tour of the most iconic spots around Dublin City. Let's go! So Bruto done this around Halloween time. If you notice, it's the iconic Wednesday Addams. And one thing very unique to Bruto is his style of spray painting. There's lots of different methods to spray paint. You could use a grid system. You can use a projector. That is very looked down upon in the street graffiti community. It's a little bit taboo just because you're kind of projecting the image onto the wall. They don't feel it's authentic, and the way Bruto does it is the most authentic way in the community, and that is something we call the doodle grid system. So imagine this wall was blank and Bruto looked at the finger over here, and then perhaps he put a smiley face, and then for a lovely nose over here he put a love heart. What he'd do then is he'd get his little black book, he'd have his sketch down and he'd put the doodles over it, and he'd use a system to kind of change the opacity, and he'd be able to see where those parts are supposed to fit here. As you can see, it's not a completely finished piece yet. It's because Bruto done this free of charge, and Bruto's a very busy man himself, so he wasn't able to finish it. Some more of Bruto's projects that you can look at around Dublin City is a cling film project around two poles, where he cling films between two poles, and then he paints very iconic Irish characters or even religious symbols on it, and it's his way of busking as a street artist. So this beautiful piece here is of Bruto's daughter, and it didn't always look as big and beautiful as it did today. It actually went through 4 different updates. As we know, street graffiti, especially in a smaller city, is kind of a territorial game. So it's been through lots of defacing and stuff, but people quickly learned you do not mess with Bruto or his daughter. The reason that he put his daughter up here is because he'd be working in these lanes, doing lots of different graffiti pieces and street art pieces, sometimes commissioned for the English language school he was learning at. He was staying at the hostel just across the road, and he found it was very tough to see his daughter, so he decided to put up a big, gorgeous mural of her. Thankfully, his daughter was able to come over here and live with him instead of being in Rio with his wife. But when he went back over to visit and bring her back over to Dublin himself, he actually made a mirroring pieces. This is of the favelas, which he would have grew up in Rio himself, and he made a mirroring piece to represent how Rio is his home, but also in Rio he done the same piece to represent how Dublin is now his second home as well. In the past, this space would have been very, very contested. We have lots of rivalries in Dublin City. One of them would be between Sisto and Abdo. So this space is no longer contested, but you will see those two names around a lot. Alright everybody, welcome to Bedford Lane, which is now known as the Icon Walk. So it wasn't always the beautiful lane you see today. It did fall victim, especially during COVID, to some anti-social behaviour. But then down the road opened a place called the Icon Factory, and they wanted to do a bit of a community cleanup. So they created the Icon Walk, which commemorates lots of Irish icons throughout the past 100 years. It's been here for about 13 years so far, and it's still holding up very strong. Let's have a little look. So this beautiful dog here was made by a lovely artist called Deezy. Deezy started putting these up, especially around COVID, when she realised that her lovely dog was the best company ever and inspired her to always feel happy. So I believe if you go through this lane alone, you'll find around, last time I counted, around 38 of them, and they all say very, very inspirational messages to make you feel a bit better about your day. This one says, "Don't ruin a good day by thinking about a bad yesterday." I agree with it. So if you come down here, you can see lots of beautiful dogs called Fluffy, who are amazing. So as long as street graffiti has been around, it's went hand in hand with activism. This piece is called Climate 3 by a very politically active group called Subset here in Dublin. It represents the plastic pollution that we are seeing all over the world. If it's not on your shores, it will be very soon. It's estimated that in around 40 years, there's going to be more plastic in the ocean than fish. There's also a hidden meaning in this piece if you can find it. We don't know if it was put in by the artists themselves for you to find, or if it was just put there by a walker buyer who appreciated this piece of art. But when you notice it, it goes to show that once we put the problem in front of your face, it's very, very hard to ignore it. Also, if you notice the rings around the side of the fish inside of the plastic bag, that's actually what microplastics would look like if you put them in a slide under a microscope. It's very easy to kind of decipher the meaning of this. Fish in plastic, not very good, but the fish outside of the plastic bag lives long and prospers. So it's a piece of activism within the art here for you all to see. So, when James Early got commissioned to do this piece and he saw the absolute scale of it, he thought, I won't have to work another day in Dublin again. And after that, he said he'll only come back for a wedding or a funeral. So this is the Blooms Hotel, and it was inspired by Ulysses. There's a festival called the Bloomsday Festival, and this is the midway point. So they commissioned James Early to do this crazy grand piece on it. You can see that there is Stephen Ulysses from the book. And there is a lot of stained glass influence because James Early's family were actually stained glass blowers as well. And there's some Frida Kahlo inspiration with the roses and lots of different beautiful things. It actually took him 9 months to paint this and 2 months to plan it. As you can imagine, the weather in Ireland was one of the biggest things that he had to deal with. If he came outside, was ready to paint, and then he felt some gusts of wind, and then along came the rain, he knew he was in for a hard day and he'd have to come back again tomorrow. So this piece may not look like much initially, but it's actually a gateway to a lot of recent Irish history. This was done by what we can call the Banksy of Dublin. His name is Mazer. A lot of red hearts around the city saying Mazer loves you, just a nice inspirational thing. But then came along the 2018 referendum that was about changing the legislation on abortion. So this became a love heart, and instead of Mazer loves you, it said repeal the 8th, which was the slogan for the referendum. It was put on the side of the Projects Art Centre, and the Projects Art Centre is a community-based art centre. A lot of people thought the message was controversial. Either you loved it or you hated it, but art is political in itself. It gained a lot of attention and traction, but people who did not agree with the message found a loophole around this, a way to get it removed. And that's because the Projects Art Centre is a government building. They cannot give you any demands of what to do with legislation, and because it said repeal the 8th, it had to be removed. But this had the opposite effect than what you would think. It gained so much media attention, and as you can see, there's lots of marks from the paint rollers, and that is when it was getting removed. Instead of removing the message, it gained so much media traction that it actually blew the message up, and then Mazer actually got commissioned to do plenty more of them around the city, and maybe the art had a good effect because the 8th amendment was repealed in the end. Somebody came along, it's unknown who, and actually used this for another political message and added in something to make it look like a watermelon, which is the symbol of freeing Palestine itself. So not did it just have one political meaning, it in the end had two, showing how art can sway politics and send so many messages as well. Alright everybody, thank you so much for joining me on this tour. If you like that and you want to know more about street art and graffiti around Dublin City, please check us out at alternativeexperiences.ie, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Thank you so much.